Hi everybody, welcome back to Plan with Fran. I promised I would do a video on how I went from rings to a Stalogy, basically to a book-bound planner. Um, if this is some content that you like, we do planning stuff, we do a little DIY, chatty, and some tips and tricks and things like that. I would love it if you would subscribe to the page, like this video, comment, and hit that bell so that you are alerted whenever I post a video. I'm trying and I'm doing pretty good. I'm posting 2 to 3 a week. So here we go. All right. So I wasn't really thinking about doing a video about this. But I did have a lot of people that followed me when I was in rings, and then I switched to a book bound, and they were like, I've been thinking about it, but I just don't know how to do it. I don't know where to start. I've not ever been in a book bound. I have many years ago. I was in a Hobonichi Weeks. However, if you scroll back on my Instagram, there are old photos of my Hobonichi Weeks. Now, I will say, I always had a ring planner that I did not show because a lot of it was work. At that time, I still had clients I did finances for, I did taxes for, and I couldn't show that planner at all. I just couldn't. It was never photographed on camera, anything. So I would show my weeks on Instagram, not a lot. But then once I narrowed my clients down to 2 that I do from home, I didn't need a whole planner for that. So that's the long story short. I have been in a book bound before. But the steps I took, I was extremely frustrated with rings for a few reasons. I was frustrated with ring gaps. I was frustrated with buying paper, buying extra ink toner, just everything that went with it. And I think it was just a combination of the whole system that I was just over it. I knew this in 2025. I felt it. But I set up a 2026 A6 rings, and I thought it was the size. I was doing pocket, I was doing A6 rings, and it wasn't the size, it was the rings. So these are the steps I took that landed me in this Stalogy. So I'm going to go through this, which is a crazy piece of paper, and then I'm going to go through this to kind of walk us through it. So I'm going to take this out of here and set her aside. And this is how I started. I did not know what I wanted to be in. Honestly, had no idea. But what I did was I basically cleared my mind, just like this desk, and I got pen to paper. This was January 8th. I threw this away, obviously, you can see. And then I pulled it out of the trash that day, and I folded it up. I flattened it out and folded it up. And I have no idea why I kept it, but it was on my desk in a little slot thing like that you keep your bills. And I pulled it out the other day and thought, that's got to be part of the video. So what I did was, and I don't think you're really going to be able to see it. You can zoom in too, but first thing I did, no influence, no videos, no Instagram or Pinterest. This is me. This is, I had to put all influences aside because we all tend to gather off of inspiration, off of other planner community friends. And a perfect example, the Hours Journal. I was seeing the Ours Journal, OURS Journal, all over Instagram last year. beautiful spreads, and then they journal in the box for that date. Beautiful. Planning with Kay, beautiful. And hers was beautiful. And I thought, oh my gosh, I found a bunch of people that were doing videos of decorating it, and I was like, oh, this is gorgeous. So I bought one used on Macari. She hadn't used it. She never used it. I bought one about midway through 2025. I had all the stickers, the beautiful stickers. I already had all that. I had my fountain pen. I had everything I needed. I never touched it. And I came to the realization that I actually enjoyed watching others do the beautiful spreads and write in this journal more than I wanted to do it. So therefore, I really had to take a step back. Like, why did I buy this? Just because someone else had it? I need to think these things through more. You know, it was a complete waste of money. Luckily, I was able to turn it around and resell it to one of my planner friends that really wanted it, and she is using it and loves it. So perfect. But she wanted to try it for the rest of the year to see if she wanted to get another one for the next year. So what I did was I pulled my Hobonichi weeks. I pulled 2017, 2018, and 2019. My inserts for rings, I archived them in a ring binder. I pulled 2023, 2024, and 2025. And I went through both, and I put Post-its on what I did not enjoy using. And then I put a different color Post-it on what I absolutely utilized. So that is what I did. I looked through old planners, especially things that I could tell I just tried to use. Just use it for anything, and I'll go through it. So the first thing I did was I listed all the sections that were in either journal, either type, whether it was a book bound or whether it was rings. I listed every section that I've had over those years. I immediately, when I was done with that, this side wasn't even done. When I hadn't even written. When I was done with that, I immediately went through and crossed off what I knew you are not going to use that. You do not need it. You're not going to use it. Dailies was my number one. I have tried and tried and tried. Dailies do not work for me in a planner. I've bought planners. I actually bought the Just Scribble. I bought planners with dailies, and I printed dailies. I always think I'll find something to use them for, and I don't. I know a lot of people use dailies for journaling. They'll use the week, or they'll use the weekly, and then there's dailies in some journals, and there's a weekly, and then there's a daily for each day of that week, then another weekly. And I thought, well, I'll do journaling, and I don't. My journal is not ever open for a photo. It's not open for YouTube. It's mine. And I read a quote one time, and it stuck with me, and it is how I feel. If I'm journaling for social media, then I'm not journaling for me. Because there are things in your journal that you would never show on social media. If you're honestly just pouring out, in my opinion, I wouldn't. Some other people might. But if I'm really pouring out stuff, it doesn't need to be on social media. That is private, and it's my feelings. So someone had put a quote out there that if they're journaling because everyone was bugging her, oh, show your journal, show the inside. She always showed the outside. And she put under a caption, if I'm journaling for social media, I'm not journaling for myself. And I thought, exactly how I feel. So dailies were out. I knew I didn't want dailies. Monthlies, maybe. And I think we can see very clearly, kids, that I was right. Because I put these monthlies in here, and all I'm doing is putting stickers. And I will not be putting monthlies in 2027 Stalogy. So I put a maybe there, but I'll tell you what, I can cross it off because I'm not putting monthlies in. Weekly, absolutely need. Appointment at a glance, I use year on one page. Finance chart, no. I really love the budget. I love Crefective Papers financial system. Noelia uses it. It inspired me. I used it. No, I don't need my finances in my planner. I have a program for that, and I don't even know why I put it in my planner. I liked the way hers looked. That's why. Books, yes. Shows, absolutely. My Etsy shop, I'm not active enough in it to need a section. No. Creative sewing, I have not a planner, I have a notebook, a B6 for all my sewing projects, measurements. I don't need that in my planner. That stays right. That B6 is right by my sewing machines. Journaling, that's a big no. Trackers, yes, but tracking what? I've seen so many people that track tons of stuff, and they need to. They're really doing it. I don't. I listed here kind of some things to track. Mood. I'm actually in 2027 when I set up. I'm going to pixel a year in pixels for my mood, and I'm going to do a year in pixels for something else. Oh, weather. Sleep I track. Cleaning I crossed off. I know how to clean my house. Homeschooling. Uh-oh. I have to sneeze. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Whew, that came on me. Homeschooling, I have a program for that too. Plus, she does it independently. It's a program. I'm not personally homeschooling her anymore. I was when she was younger, but I'm not anymore. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm allergic to planning. Weight, food. I don't know. I have pocket written here. I don't remember from there what, but I have an app on my phone, so I don't know why that says pocket. Maybe I was going to do a pocket notebook. Notes, gifts. I don't need it. Sticker page. In my Hobonichi, in the back, in Hobonichi, the weeks, there's pages in the back that I didn't use for anything. I put sticker release paper on it, and I put my most used stickers on that, so I didn't even have to have a sticker pack, folder, washi tape, nothing with me. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. No spin, that's a joke. I don't even know why I try that. Swatches, inks, like your, not ink pens, like fountain pen ink. I also started a reference section, which I'll go over. It's awesome. It's an awesome, cool thing. Bristol cycle, clients know, my blood sugar. That's part of my morning routine. Migraines, I know because I track with meds. With my tracker, with the meds, I know if I had a migraine. Symptoms, no. Now my nose is running. Pat's travel, yes, I do track that. And I don't only track it. I mean, I know when my husband's out of town, but I track it because he gets paid per diem on top of his regular salary when he's out of town, and they have missed weeks he's been out of town. So I've said to him, hey, you didn't get per diem. And he's like, what? So we track that now because they have a new payroll lady. And weather, I'm also going to do a year in pixels. It's something I saw and I thought I will do that, and I will. Then what I did over here, because I knew what sections I wanted at this point. You can screenshot that. I don't know why you'd want to, but this paper is so soft now that's been crumbled up. It's crazy. I listed the cons of rings and the pros of rings. The cons were the gaps in the rings, printing. I bought thicker paper. I, of course, went through more ink for my printer. Some not easily switched. Oh, the rings. Some you can unscrew and replace them if there's gaps. Others, you're not getting them out. They're not exchanging. Gold rings were hard to find, and I like gold rings. Even the best rings, the cross, have, in my opinion, declined. I actually got a very expensive ring planner, and there were gaps in cross rings, and I was just like, whoa. A lot of the planners I love that have rings are international, so there was extra charges. Too much for ring something. I don't know. Lacks creativity for me. It really kind of did, because everything was being printed. Everything was being put in, but I wasn't creating anything. Pros, I had tab dividers I loved. I moved things around. If you didn't want that section there, you can move it to another area. Decorating, I had a lot of pretty vellums that you could just punch holes put in. I had a lot of dashboards and pretty inserts. A lot of choices of inserts. I had my favorites. Graphecta paper, the planner. Was it the planner room? Hey Planner Girl. I had a lot of favorites. You'd just go, you knew what you were looking for, and you'd buy it. If it was not dated, you had it forever, because it's on your computer or on your SD card. If it was dated, you knew, go back the next year, get the same thing, it worked for you. Hence, I already own tons of ring stuff. Reprinting non-dated, like I said, you can print them over and over and over. They're yours forever. And I controlled the paper, because paper in a lot of pre-made stuff, or even stuff I've been shipped, printed inserts, I didn't care for. If not rings, then what? And I listed discs, Hobonichi, Just Scribbles, which I did buy that and tried it. A plain notebook. I know there was a lot of people doing the spiral pen gear notebooks and this and that. The spiral doesn't help me, because with writing on this side, I know you could fold it on itself, but it just wasn't my vibe. Faded Chronicle, Graphecta paper, they all make planners now. There's Traveler notebooks, do a full-fledged TN, Sterling ink, Lustrum, I think that's what it's called, which obviously I didn't go with. Moleskine paper issues, Stalogy, Pen Gear, and Zequins. These two were the two that I was going in between. I ended with the Stalogy simply because I liked their paper, and the Zequins was just really bulky to me, even in their A6, which I can cut anything down. I have a guillotine. I can cut anything down, up to a 2-inch thick, like butter. Well, obviously, I ended up in a Stalogy, not a Zequins. Then on the back here, oh, these were some of my paper issues. TRP, sketchy, inconsistent. Sketchy by, I mean, it changed kind of. It was sketchy the way it happened. What's going on with this? Moleskine, same thing. Oh, paper is shit now. Well, obviously, I wasn't in the mood to deal with it. Stalogy, I realized, manufactures their own. I looked this up before I owned one. It's thin, bleed resistant, similar to TRP, but not. I do have a lustrum. I don't know what kind of paper it is, but it was good, but it just didn't, I don't know. You got to feel it. The reference notebook. This was going to solve a lot of my problems. I've seen a lot of people do this in a TN, Traveler's Notebooks, and they have a reference notebook. That away the following year, they just put it over to the next, they just take the book out and move it. I wanted that for sure. So that is how I ended up here. And we'll go in a little, whoa, that's too close, Fran. Okay, so I have my, staying the same. I like to get the holidays. I like to get a year at a glance. I will always have this appointment screenshot appointment on what, one, two, 4 pages appointments for the whole year. This is just so easy to look at, especially if you have a lot of appointments. It's just easy. And also, if my husband says to me, hey, do you remember when, I went to that the first time I went to the doctor after my stroke, I can look for his color, which is brown, and go, well, here was your stroke. Yep, you went the 13th. So it's just easy. I don't have to flip through months. And I have actually had a lot of followers incorporate this into their planning system with the color coding and everything. And I'm a color coder girl. I like color coding things. And a lot of people were like, this was something they really enjoyed. In fact, my journal, my personal journal, I have little round stickers. They're a little bit bigger than this. And they are color. There's a key in the front of my personal journal. And if I'm writing about something and it's a certain, I'm down or there's been an emergency, I actually will put a color sticker somewhere on that page. And when I'm flipping through it, I can go, oh, what was going on here? Why do I have a red little sticker? So I do color code a lot. It just grabs my eye. This will remain. I love this. But shows I have to have because my mother constantly wants me to look at. Books. I have what I own in my home. This is books, physical books that are on a shelf. Gifts, some are gifts, some I've had, some I just recently bought. This does not include my Kindle. I'm not writing down every book in my Kindle. There's just no way. I read both. So I read my Kindle and I read paperback or hardback books. I think I've done 2 audiobooks. I don't know. I just don't buy audiobooks. Then, of course, I have my trackers, which we all know that as we get further in, the layout for my weeks is obviously Hobonichi weeks. When I pulled all those old out, I realized how much I really liked that and how it drew my eye to appointments and important things or events or the main thing I did that day. that day. Like here I had a day, but I did some things, but this was what I did the majority of the day. So this was straight off Hobonichi Week's inspiration. And as we all know, if you've watched a few of my videos, I did change up my weekends to split it come June. I split it here so I had more room here. And I do like that. Tracking, I only track what I know I'm going to track. I could list a million things here, you guys. I'm not going to track it. I'm not going to track my evening routine, which I also have, a bedtime routine. It's when I do my face and I brush my teeth and, I'm not going to track that. I've been doing it for decades. I don't need to write it down. I do it every single night. So I only put on here what I know I will track. So I guess I kind of made it more functional, but still decorative, which some would argue. I know. Oh, that's not functional if there's one sticker in it. Yeah, it is to me. So private, this originally was going to be something completely different than what it is. So this section really isn't what it says it is. It says private. The only thing private really in this is this. This on the front. I don't know what's on the back. Oh, the back is my youngest granddaughter's daycare because I'm an emergency pickup if needed. This has planner friends. It has their home addresses when we send things. It has their cell phone numbers. It has their personal emails. So this is not going to be shown, of course. This, I'm going to get back to the reference. This is literally freebies. When I was in Franklin Covey Compact for so long, I would look for who had freebies I really liked, and I'd check certain ones I used that I wanted to print each year. Same here, freebies, freebies. If I seen somebody at a list of shops that did freebies, I printed it so I could look. And to be honest with you, a lot of these I won't use. So I'm going to be going through this and creating a new freebie list. That is private. After I just said there's not much private. So the new tabs I added, banks. I did not write anything in here yet because we have a lot of, we have a couple bank accounts, we have credit cards, we have a lot of investment stuff, we have CDs, we have stocks, we have dividends. There's just a lot. We do have a program that tracks a lot of it. We also deal with Edward Jones. I almost said Meryl Streep. Who is Meryl? Oh, I can't think of it now. We have a lot. So that is all on my computer. Well, it's all on an SD card. I don't put much actually on the hard drive. Swatches. I did this because I was kind of unsure about this paper. I can tell you right now, the Pentel Sign Touch, not good for this. Some stuff's not good for this, but that's okay. My inks, I want to, like I said, do swatches of my fountain pen inks. I haven't done it yet. Stamps, these are all the stamps I own. Next year, I will probably eliminate these. I'll stamp again, but I might eliminate some of these that I know I'm not going to use. I like that it shows the sizing, and it also showed me what inks, so I will do them all again. The best ink I found was the Dewdrop Graphite Black. Is great, and I will stamp all of them with that, except the ones, these are already inked. They're the little clicky ones, so they came as is, so those will stay the same. That little clip's cute. I never noticed that before. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Lists. Okay. This is my reference section. I would strongly advise everyone to have one of these, whether you're in rings or whatever. I named it lists because I can't fit reference on here. I could have put ref, but I don't know. I just didn't want to. But this is the first year I've done this the way I'm doing it, and it is, I've referred back to this 1.5 million times already, and I have made it movable. So, and I think, let me double check, but I think I covered up anything. I think there was one thing. Yeah, I covered it. The rest of it, you know. So, I have my subscriptions. These are all on translucent, and it's got the sticky here. So everything in this reference section can be moved to the reference section, the list for 2027. Subscriptions that I pay for each month. I actually just eliminated 2, so they're not on here. Of course, Bristol's applying for jobs. She's applied for a few. And you can't just walk in like we did and go, can I get an application? You have to do everything online. So we set up an email for her. She didn't have one. And, well, she did have one for school, but we set up a separate one for this. My hair, my type of curls for my hair. Yeah, if you look at my profile picture, you'll get it. And then what I use for my hair. Mark Anthony is a backup if I can't get this. My blood type. Annual stuff I need to remember. My order when I order Handstitched Leather T. This is what I order, unless I want to change some. But this is my staple order. These all come off. Every single one of these come off. So I'll be able to move all this. And if something changes, I can just redo this sticky. This is all of my electronics. My Apple Watch, my iPad, my AirPods, my iPod. Yes, I still have an iPod, 6th generation. My Kindle, my mom's Kindle, which she can't use anymore, so I have both of them. She can't see it. My printer, my toner I get, Ringcon, I just ordered one. I don't have it yet. Time zones. And I know you guys are probably like, why? You stay home, girl. What? Because let me tell you, when people go, this release is at this Eastern Standard Time, I'm in Central Standard, and I'm always getting on Google going, what's the breakdown? So I don't have to anymore. And the CET is Handstitched Leather's time, which she leaves her shop open for a bit, but I still like to get on there and order pretty shortly after she opens. Mountain Standard Time, Pacific Time. So it gives me, what time it is if it's noon here. Add 1, -1. I refer to this more than I ever thought in my life I would. My dog's stuff. Luna, her birthday, her breed, and about what she weighs. All my dogs fluctuate about 5 pounds. Don't we all? I mean, Rocco, he's the same breed, pit bull, his birthday. And then Chief, he's a Pyrador. I know y'all have seen pictures of him, but he's a great lab. A great lab. Well, he is a great lab. He's a black lab, Great Pyrenees mix. So he's a big boy. That's why he's so sweet, too. This name, I don't know. They just blend the names together. To me, I just call him a black lab, but his size kind of gives that away. Books. I know I already showed you books, but I won't rewrite all those from here. When I go to 2027, I'm not rewriting all these. I can just move these. Oh, I'll show you. The stickies are on the bottom. I got these from Amazon. They come in a little book. I should have brought it in here. They come in a little book. And it's kind of the size of a week's. And both sides have these Post-its and they stack, as you can see. So I love them. And they even come with the marker that works on them, and it dries super fast. I love this. The stickies at the bottom. I'll move these too. This is the private part. This is our meds. It's mine and Patrick's. Then I have another Post-it, another one like this here, that is Bristol, and then my mother. So I covered that up. My skincare, I can move it. If anything changes, which it hasn't in years, so I don't see anything changing. And then Bristol's stuff, she's 16. She doesn't have acne, but she does get breakouts. So if we need to change something, and when I go to order, I like to be able to just look and see. Sometimes I don't want to scroll back on Amazon or look for an email for that order to see what we got. I just want to be able to look at something and know what I'm buying. This is just natural remedies. If you aren't feeling well, you could screenshot that if you want it. There you go. I will say I have done the headaches with the bananas. Helps. Of course, sore throat and honey, everyone knows. Dry hair and salmon, I have done that. I have gotten on salmon kicks. I've done the, I've done bloating, yogurt. Sweet peppers I eat all the time, so maybe that's why my hair is not brittle. Green tea for stress, ginger, inflammation, pineapples, dehydration, cucumbers. So it was something I seen in a book, and I just decided, so I took a picture of it and then wrote it all out. And I put down everything for my Stalogy because this is the first year I'm using it. So I have the measurements, how many squares are across, and how many are down, so I can plan things out. This is just elastic I bought, and I liked it. It was a specific color I was looking for, and I liked it. These are all things I want to add in here still. All my appliances, my washer, my dryer, my stove, all my appliances I want to add with their model number and that type of thing. our vehicles, which right now, to be honest, is only mine. My husband's vehicle is paid for 100% by his company. Gas, the vehicle, the insurance. We don't pay anything for his vehicle. So it's only mine until Bristol decides she's going to get her driver's license. Don't get me started. My favorite freebies, I'm going to break that down. Bank and cards, I still got to add. Our insurance policies, homeowners, life insurance, auto insurance for mine. All that, I want the policy numbers written down and the phone number for contact. I have a card, sure, but automatic withdrawals, certain things that come out each month. That's really all that I thought. I was thinking that would be good for months if I just put automatic withdrawals, like 16th, the trash bill comes out. It's about this much. But I don't know. All of my utilities come out automatically. Electric, my cell phone, our gas bill, our trash bill, our sewer bill. It all comes out automatically. So you could almost just have a list and just move it each month. It's always the same. So you just be rewriting each month on the same date. So I highly doubt that's going to happen as far as on months. My tea favorites, I have lots of teas, and I buy from different sites, and there's some I don't rebuy, but I want to write down like a little star by ones I really like. Sorry, I'm a little out of here. I was way off my last video. I was way over here. I don't know what I was doing. And planner covers I own, especially now because I've sold I think I've sold almost every ring planner I've had. I've sold Handstitched Leather. I sold all my Handstitched Leathers. I sold that are rings. I sold two Vanderspecs. I sold Foxy Fix. Foxy Fix rings. I sold Filofax. I destashed all of that this year. When I made the decision I was not going back into rings. Oh yeah, the banks and all the investment crap. Yeah, that's why I put that little straight face. So that is the reference section. People do it different. They'll have a completely different book if they're in or you could have inserts if you're in rings, but it is a great resource. I just came across this year of putting it in a reference section. I thought, why did I spread all that out when I could have just had it all there, especially things I reference all the time. And through the year, as you look something up more than once or twice, think about it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to write that down and put it in my reference section, and I can move it. Everything except the sticker won't come out, but everything can be moved. That was already there. So, I put it there, but it was before I decided that was going to be referenced. Lookup is really just me wanting to look into something, and I keep forgetting that I have this back here, and I end up writing a post-it. This was foundation my daughter wanted me to look at our Ulta. Her Ulta didn't have it. And then I wanted to look into the Ring Con versus the Aura Ring, and I did that already. So actually, I can cross that off, but I have not looked at our Ulta. I didn't even go there. So. Social media, because I'm trying, you guys. I did some really not so great decoration. I have big plans for next year. This year, I just didn't have what I wanted, but now I kind of have a better idea. It will look nicer, that's cute. But so what I did was I never really tracked my growth. I honestly just didn't. So in June, I started tracking my Instagram, YouTube, and my TikTok, which I'm growing. It's going up. I've been posting the last few weeks, and it's really jumped up. So it makes me happy that it's going. And I plan on doing that through the year, and I'll put this in for next year as well. Just once a week, I'm checking it. Just notes. Sometimes if I don't know how to do something, if you watch the last video, I do not edit videos. I record, I talk to you guys like we're just planner buddies sitting around in a cafe with our planners and our coffee, and we're just talking and showing each other our stuff. I don't edit. I watch it back after I record, and I post it if everything is good with it. If everything is not, I have re-recorded a whole video. My last video, I had already laid the stickers and everything, and I flipped back to a page, and actually, if you have not watched that video and you're going to go watch it, it was in the private section. And what I did was I flipped this page, and this was wide open. And there were about 6 planner friends that if you're on Instagram, you know who they are. You would have known immediately who they were. And it was their home addresses, just right out there. Cell phone numbers. And I was like, oh. And I couldn't re-record the video. I just did. Because I laid all the stickers down. What am I going to record? So I had to go to YouTube, funny enough, and I had to learn how to blur on YouTube Studio. So I saw a little video and I learned how to blur, and I blurred it out. I wrote the guy, because I was looking at some other stuff he had on his channel, and I wrote his channel name down on a little post-it. It's in the other room. And I'm going to write him in here. And so that I know, hey, if you need to learn how to do that, he explains things really well. These post-its I got from Tiny Birch Studio. I'm not really doing this in this order. It was more just to write down things to film. Like I filmed Plan With Me's. I filmed the Plan With Me. I did film a flip. I put it as a, just the weeks. I put it, my weeklies. I put it as a short. And now I'm filming the Ring to Bound. I'm going to do a deco card as a DIY. And people want to see my wallet. So I'm going to do shorts for that. Tags. My planning has changed, so my old tags would not apply. I'm not going to put Franklin Covey Compact. I'm not going to put A6 rings. So I had to kind of go through and find tags that would work. So I printed this out from, okay, Marcia, or is it Marcia? Marcia Bramuxi? It's so tiny, and I have my glasses on. I don't know if you guys can even see that. She's on Etsy. So I got this from her and printed it out. I bought it from her shop. And it's just the months and then this on the side. And I liked it. It's supposed to be a TN. It prints that way. I just didn't print it that way. I printed it the way on sticker paper so I could put it in here. But I just print what I film, I write down what I film and when it went live. And then I write it over here. And this is keeping me on track, seeing it. So I love this, and I will buy one of this. I'll buy one of this. I will buy this again for 2027 for social media, because I think a lot of my problem with not filming is I wasn't tracking. I just filmed when I wanted and put up, and I wanted to film more. And I just printed on sticker paper and stuck it in. That is one thing that I am enjoying about Bookbound, is that if you don't want to bullet journal everything, like for example, I guess this would be considered bullet journaling, right? Because you're drawing it all. I might be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I'm assuming that if you draw the whole thing yourself, it's considered bullet journaling. I know bullet journaling is keys and the migration and the X and the arrow, but isn't bullet journaling also when you draw everything? Or is that just creative planning? I don't know the terms. But you can also just print inserts and build the way you want, just like you do rings. But I would strongly advise, and it's still cute, I would strongly advise doing the work yourself, like on paper. look through old planners. I had forgotten about some things I did in the Hobonichi weeks, like putting a couple, like in the back here, I could take 10 pages and put sticker release paper, double tape it on, and it does work if you double tape it, and put stickers. I could do that. I totally forgot that I did that in my Hobonichi, but I would advise you to, I would suggest to do it, and not what others do necessarily, what you do, what you used. And I don't know who this is. We're going to call him Joe. Sorry, he distracted me. But it's a great way to kind of clear your mind, and you really see what you utilized and what you struggled with when you're flipping through old planners. Because there were sections I did not utilize, and I could tell that I was trying anything to make it work. I have built what I like here, and I use every section of this. The private isn't really what I thought it was going to be, but the reference is a big one I love. And I have such a foundation of what I'm going to do for 2027. Speaking of, if you're not familiar, and I don't know if I've mentioned this on any of my videos in the last couple weeks, but Planmas. It is a thing on YouTube. It's Planmas, just like Christmas, but Planmas. And from, I've never done it, but I did watch some, from December 1st to the 25th. Now, I know a lot of planner friends of mine, they did the whole month of December. Every day there's a video. And some are short, little, quick videos, and some were longer. And they were fun to watch. I'm going to do Planmas this year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally have an A6 Stalogy in front of me that is brand new. And every day I'm going to film every little thing I do to it. Breaking it in when you first get it is important. And I'm going to film everything I do in it and split the videos all up for the whole setup and show what I'm using that day, who I got it from, how I'm going to use it. They won't be super long videos, not like this one that's already 47 minutes long. Sorry, guys. But each time I do a little something in it, getting it ready for the year 2027, I'm going to show you guys, because I have a lot of stuff that is new that's not in here. But as I got my groove going with this, I knew what I wanted to get. And there's a lot of really cool shops that sell full A6 Stalogy sheet stickers. There's just a ton of great stuff I'm finding, and I'm thinking by the time Planmas comes, I will really have picked up a lot that I need and that I didn't even know existed. So that is what I did, guys. And I knew this, and it was in my head that it wasn't working for me, but when I wrote it down and looked at it, it all just started clicking. It just all clicked. So if you're struggling but you know it's not working, whatever you're in, do this. Do a brain dump or a mind map. You may be in a book bound now, and you may end up in a rings. You know, you may be in a rings now and end up in a TN where you have all sorts of separate booklets for things. So it got me where I'm at. And I'll tell you what, guys, I did not think this is where I was going to end up at all. I did not think this. I thought I was going to end up in one of these. I, honest to God, hand on the Bible, I thought I was going to end up in a Hobonichi or just Scribbles or a Faded Chronicle or Sterling Ink. Paper eliminated some of them. But I honestly thought I would end up in an already pre-made book-bound planner. I did. I knew I was going to end up in rings. But I did not think I was going to end up in a book bound that I was going to build myself. And I'm so glad I did. So that is my story, you guys. And I'm very, very happy with it. And I'm glad I did this. And I'm glad I kept it. I'm going to keep it for a while. But I'm glad I kept this because I look back on it now when I found it the other day and I was like, I'm going to do a video on that. I had forgotten some of my reasoning and it reminded me of everything. And I actually crossed a few things off that I'm not going to do. So I'm going to keep this and reference it for 2027, even though I'm kind of already there. So let me know if that plan miss idea sounds good to you guys. I mean, it would be setting up the planner for 2027. So let me know. And if you have any questions or any comments or any concerns, just comment below and I certainly will answer you. And that's it. And try to think about you. Try to think about you. Because I had to de-influence myself to do this list. Because I thought of other people. No. I had to figure out within myself that, yes, I enjoy watching that done, but I'm not going to do it. So it's not the way I'm doing it. So learn about yourself. Learn what you need and what you like to watch on YouTube or on Instagram, but you like to watch it more than you need to do it, if that makes sense. So I hope this helped you guys, and maybe it didn't. If it helps one person, they make a list and it helps them. That's all I'm here for. And I'd love to see your list if you do this. I showed you mine. I probably could have added more to this, but at that time, but it was January 8th. You know, if you're making a list in January the 8th, you should have. I should have never set A6 rings up, because by the 8th I was already like, no. So trust yourself. Follow your gut. All right, guys, I'm going to upload this probably Thursday. Leave it up. I am going to film planner reset for next week on Sunday because of my mother's heart surgery on Monday. It will post on Monday or maybe Sunday. I don't know. Next week's going to be, but I'm still going to film for you guys. I don't know. It might be 3 a.m. one day, but I'm still going to film for you guys. So keep watching. I really appreciate all you, and I want to give a shout out to a YouTube friend of mine, Paula. Thank you for the package, and I did figure out my size. You know what I'm talking about. And I did order. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week, and I will post this video on Thursday. I'm going to do Thursday. Talk to y'all later, guys. Bye.